Hello everyone, I'm Jervy, and today I'm going to showcase to you the basic to-do API that I created using ASP.NET Core Web API. So let's start. So for better understanding, um, let's try this API. So as you can see, we can insert any value here, um, like um, clean, and the description is um, tomorrow and let's execute this. And as you can see, we have a response body here, which is success message, which is the data here, the ID, title, and is completed is false. So let's copy this ID. But for that, after that, let's try the get request method. As you can see, um, we have seen the value we added here, and let's try the get method by entering the gid ID that generated. And yeah, as we can see, we're also seeing this. So let's try the put method. Let's try this and let's update it. And it's automatically changed, that is completed. So let's execute it. Now as you can see guys, the response data is also updated. Also from I want actually to use the patch method, so we can just simply update it if this is complete, if the user want just to set this as complete or not. But yeah, let's try that in the future. But for now, let's try this delete method. And as you can see, the message, which is the response body, is also already saying that task deleted successfully. So as you can see, this is actually working. Let's try the get request all again. And as you can see guys, there's no data here, just simply blank. So I'm gonna showcase to you guys the code, how I created this. So first guys, I added first the UI that we have to do, which is the Swagger UI. I just installed it, and yeah, basically just use. And next is I created a model, which is this. This is the main model, which is completed title description. Now for us to make this more secured, I decided to create DTOs, which is I created similar things that I want to retrieve, I want to create, which is title description I created also update DTO, and I also create the update response. Now I al- I converted the DTO into the item. So basically we just return this, we just mapping. This is manual mapping. Yes, and we just returning the and this guys, and note guys that when I created this is the simply meaning of this is when response is completed, that's the time when this task is done will show up, but the rest is it will just become null. As you can see guys, in my DTO, I set this as nullable. So let's go to the interface. I created the interface here, which makes our service or business logics more tightly. And yeah, we just implement it. We just added the to do interface, and now I created new the new object type, which is the new list to do item. So we're just basically creating new object here, object, and after that we are implementing the add task method, which is we're checking first if this item is equal to null. Then if that's the case, then we will return the null exception. um I apologize guys if I did not enter the correct the complete message here, um, which should be which should be items cannot be null. And so if ever it's not null, then we will just generate a new kid ID. So whenever we created new items like new task, and we will just generate a new ID, and then we can already add this. And then next we just created the delete task. And so as you can see guys, I also added validation. So if id is empty, then id cannot be empty. Then we use the link queue here, which is first our default. If the id here in if the id in items is equals to um, id, which is id here that we will input, then um, then let's just take the value and check it. If it's null, then throw another validation. Not found, then let's remove it. If it's not null, then we can just simply remove it. Then return get task, get all tasks. Then we just simply returning every value, and we use the lambda expression here. Now for this we get task id, we just also added the the validation if this is empty. Next is we just created the first or default. Similar to this, we're just matching the items if it's equal to the gid id that we created, that input actually. So let's check it again and return the item. Now for update, let's just check if this is null again. Next, checking if this is if the ID is actually matching. Next is let's check if this ID is not null. Now if this is actually succeed, then let's updated value. Let's update the value, which is the value that we input here in this to do update to do item, which is the to do which is here. We just basically updating this value. Now let's proceed to the response folder that I created. So basically this is just as a add response value that um, we have seen here. Let's wait. Here guys, the response, the value that you can see guys, the response type is we just basically change it and make it more readable for humans. For example, is success is true, message, task class, and the data. And as you can see guys, it's the data that we want to um, show up to the user. So this is the code for that. So after that, let's proceed to the API controller. So basically, yes, and I use the dependency injection here using this code I to do interface, and we're just linking the I to do interface to do item, which is the our main model, and we're just naming it. And this to do item logic is basically the items in to do in methods that created into to do item, which is the conversion of the main model, which is to do item um, into the DTO's model. So yeah, so let's proceed now to first action method that we created, which is HTTP propose, which is um, creating adding or creating a new method, a new object type, a new object, or for some a new task, let's say that. So basically I just added the create to do here, which is this one. So we can only add the title and description. Next is um, we we already we use the response. Now we put in response variable. Now let's we check it if this null space or title is empty, which is this is the only thing that's crucial, which is, as you can see guys, I added the description as nullable. So this is just an option for user if they will enter a value for description or not. They can just simply add the title. See, this is the only thing that mandatory. So we set the success to false, message cannot be null. So if this is succeed, then we will just return it to the user. For example, um, I make this empty, and as you can see guys, is success is false, request body cannot be null, and we can see it here. Now if ever this did not succeed, then we just basically created the um, we just basically accessing this map created to do this item. So this DTO to do is just basic is the thing that we created here in DTO model here guys. we are just you are using this to return the um, converting the value of to do item into create DTO. So let's get back here, and basically just adding the task by using the add method. So here where you get we're using this add task method, and now if ever this succeed, then we'll just simply return the is success is true. And let's try this again. um, let's try this again. So if ever we added the title, then we can already see the value, which is task success created successfully. Now let's proceed to the HTTP GET. As you can see, guys, we just simply mapping it again similar to the we created the we just get all tasks first. We're getting all the tasks first, similar, which is from here, get all tasks. Now um, we map it by using this update. Let simply we're just basically updating the modifying the response that will show up, which is um, basically what will show up here. Yes, we use this updated map response. Now let's go back. We just simply select it here to end to list. Now we created the list of to do um, response. Now is success retrieve all. So we can see this here. um, and as you can see, guys, um, we basically um, all tasks retrieved successfully, and we just return the response. Now let's proceed to HTTP GET, which is getting the ID. Similarly, we return the response, we created the response, and then if the GID is empty, we're checking validation, we're adding a validation again now. And if else, we're just getting the task ID and task that run. If success, then yeah, basically showing up this. Let's try. So basically, if we did not add anything, for example, invalid ID, um, we we add the invalid ID, and as you can see, guys, um, the value ID is not valid. So basically, um, cannot be empty, and response is invalid input. So if ever this is succeed, then yeah, basically that's the thing that we can get. Now yes, now um, let's proceed to HTTP put, which is the updated value. um, Basically this is this is update task. So I just add the from body here so we can update. So um, response, similar to that, we just add the response, which is returning the generic T. Then ID, checking validation again if the ID is empty. Now checking if this update to do is null. So if ever it's null, there's no, the value is empty, then we just simply returning this. Now let's retrieve the task success. We're just getting the task ID again. We're just checking if the task ID is valid, or check to the thing that we want to access. If not, then if it's null, then just return the response. And we're just mapping again the update DTO into um, the update DTO that we get from here. We're just mapping it, we're just updating the value. Then yeah, we're simply prepare the response. Then here just simply adding, deleting the task. Again, we're preparing the response, and the ID is empty. This is the response that we want to give the user. If the ID is so basically we're using the task get task ID again, um, then delete, then success is true, and delete. And basically we're using the dependency injection, which is add singleton. So basically we also added the option for us to rewrite the null. So every null value, which is the um, which is this should not show up if ever the task done is not if the task is not done. So basically that's it. um, I will add a database here soon, and authentication. So yeah, thanks for watching.